The twin suns of Kepler, 442b, cast long shadows across the crimson wasteland as Captain Marcus Kane dragged himself behind a jagged boulder, his environmental suit hissing with each labored breath. Blood trickled down his forehead, mixing with the condensation inside his helmet's visor. His comm crackled with static. Luna, Luna Comain. Marcus pressed the transmitter against his throat, desperation creeping into his voice. Where the hell are you? Silence point 3 clicks away. Dr. Luna Vasquez crouched inside the wreckage of their transport pod, her hands trembling as she tried to rewire the emergency beacon. The crash had scattered their equipment across half a kilometer of alien terrain, and their rescue shuttle, well, let's just say it was now a very expensive pile of twisted metal decorating a nearby crater. Typical, she muttered, yanking a stubborn wire. Survived 17 years of deep space missions just to get stranded on planet nowhere with Kane and his hero complex. Above them both, unseen and undetected, the hunting vessel of Commander Thakmoran hovered silently. The massive Vorthak warrior studied the readings on his tactical display, his 4 yellow eyes gleaming with predatory interest. These mammals had fallen right into his territory, and by the ancient codes, he would claim their heads as trophies. Amusing. Thakmoran's voice rumbled through his ship's speakers, each word dripping with contempt. The pinkskins think they can hide from a Vorthak hunter. Their thermal signatures burn like beacon fires against this world's cold surface. His clawed fingers danced across the control matrix. Time for some sport. Back on the surface, Marcus finally heard Luna's voice crackling through the static. Kane, thank God. What's your status? Banged up, but breathing. You? Oh, fantastic. Just having the time of my life, trying to fix our communication array with a broken sonic screwdriver and pure spite. Luna's sarcasm could cut through titanium plating. The beacon's fried. Our emergency supplies are scattered from here to next Tuesday, and I'm pretty sure something's been watching us from those hills. Marcus felt his blood chill. Watching us? What kind of something? The kind that has really big teeth and absolutely zero interest in making friends. A low growl echoed across the valley, confirming Luna's worst fears from his elevated position. Thakmoran activated his ship's external speakers, letting his hunting roar cascade down onto the surface. The sound was designed to strike terror into prey species, a bone-deep vibration that triggered every survival instinct evolution had coded into mammalian DNA. Oh, that's just perfect, Marcus whispered, checking his sidearm's power cell. 3 shots left. Against whatever was making that sound, he might as well be carrying a strongly worded letter. Luna's voice crackled with nervous energy. Please tell me you have more than harsh language and good intentions in that survival kit of yours. Define more, Marcus replied, scanning the horizon. Because if we're talking about actual firepower, I have got bad news and worse news. Hit me with the bad news first. I have got 3 shots in my plasma pistol. And the worst news. That sound we just heard? I don't think 3 shots are going to cut it. Thakmoran's mandibles clicked with amusement as he monitored their communications. These creatures possessed courage. He would grant them that. Foolish courage, but courage nonetheless. Perhaps he would make their deaths quick. Or perhaps not. The hunt had been too easy of late. He activated his personal transport beam, materializing on a ridge overlooking their crash site. Standing nearly 3 meters tall, his exoskeleton gleamed like polished obsidian in the alien sunlight. His species had been hunting across the galaxy when these humans were still discovering fire, and today would prove no different. Marcus caught a glint of movement on the ridgeline and felt his stomach drop into his boots. Luna, we have company. Big company. Ugly company. How big are we talking here? Bear big? Truck big? Please don't say spaceship big. Think less bear, more walking nightmare with anger management issues. Luna peered through a crack in the pod's hull and immediately wished she hadn't. Oh, wonderful. It's got more teeth than a chainsaw convention and approximately 0% chance of being vegetarian. Thakmoran raised his hunting rifle, a weapon capable of punching through starship armor. These mammals would die with honor, even if they knew it not. but something made him pause. The female was still working frantically with the communications equipment, not fleeing in terror as prey species typically did. The male had positioned himself between the threat and his companion, despite being hopelessly outgunned. Their behavior patterns were unexpected. Curious, he rumbled to himself. Marcus began moving from cover to cover, drawing the creature's attention away from Luna's position. Hey, tall, dark, and toothy. Yeah, you. Your mama was a rust bucket, and your daddy was a spare parts catalog. Luna paused in her repairs. Did you just try to insult an alien hunter-killer's parentage? Seemed like a good idea at the time. That might literally be the stupidest thing you have ever said. And I have known you for 6 years. Thakmoran's head tilted. This male was either incredibly brave or incredibly stupid. Possibly both. The insult was crude, but showed tactical thinking, attempting to draw the predator away from his mate. Interesting. Instead of firing, Thakmoran activated his translation matrix. His voice boomed across the valley, now rendered in perfect standard Terran. You show spirit, small mammal. Tell me, what are you called? Marcus nearly tripped over his own feet. It talks. Apparently better than you do. Luna shot back. And it asked you a question. Might want to answer before it decides talking time is over. Captain Marcus Kane, Earth Colonial Marines. Marcus called out, his voice carrying across the wasteland. And that's Dr. Luna Vasquez, xenobiologist and part-time miracle worker. Kane. Vasquez. Thakmoran tested the names, his translator giving them an oddly musical quality. I am Commander Thakmoran of the Vorthak hunting clans. You have trespassed in my territory. Trespassed? Luna's voice dripped with indignation. We crashed. There's a difference. One's intentional, the other's really expensive bad luck. Thakmoran's mandibles twitched in what might have been amusement. You show no fear, female. Most prey species soil themselves at the sight of a Vorthak hunter. Well, congratulations, Luna replied, still working on the beacon. You have met your first humans. We specialize in being inappropriately stubborn in the face of certain death. Marcus couldn't help but grin despite their situation. Luna had always been mouthy, but apparently impending doom just made her worse. You find humor in this situation? Thakmoran asked, genuinely puzzled. Buddy, if we don't laugh, we cry, Marcus replied. And crying fogs up the helmet visor. Bad for visibility. The alien hunter lowered his weapon slightly. In 300 standard years of hunting, he had never encountered prey that responded to mortal danger with jokes and sarcasm. These humans were either a species of collective madmen or something entirely new. Your vessel is destroyed, Thakmoran observed. Your weapons are insufficient. Your situation is hopeless, yet you continue to make light of impending death. Explain this behavior. Luna looked up from her work. It's called coping mechanisms, tall boy. Some species run screaming. Some freeze up. Humans crack jokes and get sarcastic. It's our thing. Your thing. Marcus nodded. Species trait. We are basically cosmic smart Alex with opposable thumbs and really bad judgment. Thakmoran found himself lowering his weapon completely. This was unprecedented. In his vast experience, prey species either begged, fled, or attacked in desperation. They did not engage in philosophical discussions about coping mechanisms. You are not as other prey species, he admitted. Oh, good, Luna muttered. We have confused the apex predator. That never goes badly. I heard that, Vasquez. You were supposed to, Kane. Thakmoran watched this exchange with growing fascination. These two operated as a bonded pair, supporting each other even in the face of death. Their species had developed emotional resilience mechanisms that actually functioned under extreme stress. Remarkable. Tell me of your world, Thakmoran commanded, settling into a crouch that brought him down to merely intimidating rather than towering. Marcus and Luna exchanged glances. Which part? Marcus asked. The good news or the train wreck? Begin with the train wreck. It seems more fitting. Luna snorted with laughter. Oh, where do we start? We have got wars, climate disasters, political stupidity that defies explanation, reality television, and people who put pineapple on pizza. Pineapple on pizza? It's a food crime, Marcus explained solemnly. Punishable by banishment from civilized society. And yet, Luna continued, we also figured out faster-than-light travel, cured most diseases, created art that can make you weep, music that can lift your soul, and somehow managed to not blow ourselves up. Yet, Thakmoran processed this information. A species capable of both transcendent beauty and pineapple pizza. Contradictory and complex. You intrigue me, humans, he admitted. In all my hunts, across dozens of worlds, I have never encountered your like. Lucky you, Luna replied dryly. Most species consider us a cosmic accident that won't stop talking. Perhaps, Thakmoran said slowly, but accidents can be educational. Marcus felt hope stirring in his chest. Does this mean you're not going to turn us into decorative wall hangings? That remains to be determined. However, your death would provide no honor. You show courage, but no real threat. Killing you would be like hunting diseased prey, meaningless. Gee, thanks, Luna said. Nothing boosts the ego like being called non-threatening prey. But she was smiling as she said it, and Marcus caught the subtle shift in their situation. They had gone from targets to curiosities. For humans, that was practically a promotion. The beacon in Luna's hands suddenly sparked to life, emitting a steady pulse. Got it, she exclaimed. Emergency signal is broadcasting on all frequencies. Someone will pick it up eventually. Eventually? Marcus asked. Could be hours, could be days. Depends on who's listening and how bored they are. Thakmoran stood, his full height casting them both in shadow. Then we have time. Time for what? To learn. I have never encountered humans before. You have never encountered Vorthak. Perhaps we can exchange information. Luna looked at Marcus. Marcus looked at Luna. Both looked at the 3-meter-tall alien death machine that was apparently interested in cultural exchange. Well, Marcus said finally, this beats getting eaten. Barely, Luna added, but she was grinning. And so began the strangest first contact in human history, on a nameless world beneath twin suns, where 2 stranded astronauts and 1 confused alien hunter settled in to wait for rescue and discovered that sometimes the universe has a very twisted sense of humor. The first day on Kepler, 442b was ending, but their story was just beginning. Dawn broke with the fury of twin suns blazing across the horizon, painting the alien landscape in shades of copper and gold. Marcus woke to find Thakmoran sitting motionless as a statue, his yellow eyes fixed on the distant mountains where something large and predatory was stirring. Morning, sunshine, Luna called from inside the pod wreckage, her voice carrying the particular brand of cheerfulness that meant she'd been awake for hours. Sleep well on your rock pile? Marcus groaned, stretching muscles that felt like they'd been used as practice targets for a demolition crew. Like a baby who'd been stuffed in a tumble dryer and shot out of cannon. Humans require extensive rest periods, Thakmoran observed without moving. Inefficient design. Hey, we are energy savers, Marcus protested, checking his suit's systems. Unlike some species that apparently photosynthesize caffeine and run on pure determination. I do not understand this caffeine. Luna poked her head out of the pod. Oh, you poor, deprived creature. Caffeine is humanity's greatest achievement. More important than space travel, medicine, or even the invention of a sandwich. The sandwich. 2 pieces of bread with stuff between them, Marcus explained seriously. Revolutionary food technology. Changed the course of human civilization. Thakmoran's mandibles clicked in what they had learned was his equivalent of confused laughter. Your species measures progress in food preparation methods. Among other things, Luna said, emerging with an armload of salvaged equipment. We are remarkably simple creatures when you get down to it. Give us something to eat, something to laugh at, and something to fix, and we are basically content. And something to complain about, Marcus added. Don't forget complaining. We are really good at that. Professional level. Luna agreed. A distant roar echoed across the valley, deeper and more menacing than Thakmoran's hunting call from the previous day. The alien hunter's entire posture shifted, muscles tensing beneath his exoskeleton. That, he said quietly, is not good. Marcus felt his blood pressure spike. Define not good. Are we talking stub tone not good, or cosmic horror from beyond the void not good? Closer to the latter, Thakmoran replied, rising to his full height. That is the call of a devourer. They are problematic. Problematic how? Luna asked, though her hands were already moving to secure their equipment. They consume everything organic in their path. Plants, animals, sentient beings. Think of your worst predator. Then multiply its hunger by a factor of 1,000 and remove all capacity for reason. Luna and Marcus exchanged looks. So, basically a politician during election season, Luna said. With bigger teeth, Marcus added. Even in the face of mortal peril, they couldn't help themselves. Thakmoran was beginning to understand that humor was not just a coping mechanism for humans. It was a weapon. They used it to maintain morale, to bond with allies, and apparently to confuse enemies. How far away? Marcus asked, checking his weapon. Perhaps 2 of your kilometers. Moving fast. How fast is fast? Fast enough that running would be pointless. Luna looked up from stuffing supplies into a makeshift pack. Well, that's refreshingly honest. I was getting tired of false hope anyway. Another roar, closer this time. The ground trembled slightly. Okay, Marcus said, his marine training kicking in. Options. What have we got? The pod's hull might provide some protection, Luna offered. Emphasis on some and might. My ship, Thakmoran said slowly, has weapons capable of stopping a devourer. But, both humans asked simultaneously. But I would need to reach it, and you would need to survive long enough for me to return. Marcus felt that familiar sensation of standing at the edge of a very tall cliff with no parachute. How long are we talking? 10 minutes. Perhaps 15 if I encounter no obstacles. Luna laughed, but there was no humor in it. 15 minutes, right? Against something that eats planets for breakfast. Not planets, Thakmoran corrected. Just everything living on them. Oh, well, that's much better. The devourer's roar came again, close enough now that they could hear the undertone of hunger in it, a sound like metal grinding against bone. You know what? Marcus said suddenly. No. No what? Luna asked. No, we're not doing this. We are not standing around waiting to become alien monster chow. We are humans, damn it. We don't go gentle into that good night. Luna's eyes lit up with understanding. We rage against the dying of the light. Exactly. Thakmoran watched this exchange with fascination. In the face of certain death, these creatures were not fleeing or despair. They were getting angry. What do you propose? He asked. Marcus was already moving, gathering debris and equipment. We make a stand, set up a killing field, use every dirty trick, every bit of cunning, every ounce of stubborn human spite we can muster. The odds are approximately 14,000 to 1 against survival, Thakmoran calculated. Good, Luna said, joining Marcus in his frantic preparations. We like a challenge. You are insane. Completely. Marcus agreed cheerfully. It's one of our better qualities. They worked with desperate efficiency, Luna rigging explosive charges from the pod's power cells, while Marcus created crude barriers from wreckage. Thakmoran found himself drawn into their preparations despite his better judgment. There, he said, indicating a narrow canyon entrance. If we can channel it through that choke point, we can concentrate our fire, Marcus finished. Good thinking. This is still suicide. Maybe, Luna said, connecting the last of her improvised bombs. But it will be suicide with style. The ground shook again, and this time they could see it, a massive shape moving through the distant hills like a living avalanche. The devourer stood as tall as a building, its hide covered in chitinous plates that reflected the twin suns like dark mirrors. Dozens of limbs ended in claws the size of starship hulls, and its maw opened to reveal rows of teeth that seemed to go on forever. Okay, Marcus said quietly. That's significantly worse than I imagined. It's like someone took every nightmare about being eaten alive and gave it legs, Luna added. Thakmoran raised his hunting rifle. Remember, aim for the sensory organs around the head. The hide is too thick everywhere else. Got it. Shoot the scary parts. All of it is scary parts, Kane. Then shoot all of it. The devourer noticed them then, its massive head swiveling in their direction. The sound it made was less roar than it was the dying scream of a world. "Here it comes," Thakmoran said. The creature charged, moving faster than anything that size had a right to move. The ground bucked and heaved under its weight. "Now!" Marcus shouted. Luna triggered her improvised explosives. The canyon in trance erupted in fire and falling rock, channeling the monster exactly where they wanted it. Thakmoran's rifle spoke, each shot punching holes the size of dinner plates in the creature's hide. Marcus added his pistol fire, knowing it was probably useless but unwilling to go down without a fight. The Devourer stumbled, roared in pain and fury, and kept coming. "Phase 2, Luna yelled, diving for cover as massive claws swept over their position. More explosions, this time directly under the creature's feet. It stumbled off balance for a crucial moment. Thakmoran leaped, using his species' natural agility to land on the creature's back. His rifle fired point blank into what he hoped were vital organs. The Devourer spun, trying to dislodge him, its massive tail whipping around to crush the humans. Marcus grabbed Luna and rolled, the tail missing them by centimeters and pulverizing the rock where they had been standing. "This is going well," Luna gasped. "Define well," Marcus replied, helping her to her feet. The creature reared up, Thakmoran still clinging to its back like a very large, very angry tick. For a moment, it seemed like their desperate plan might actually work. Then the Devourer's tail came around again, this time catching Thakmoran a glancing blow that sent him flying. The alien hunter hit the ground hard and didn't get up. "Thak!" Luna shouted, but the creature was already turning toward them, its attention no longer divided. Marcus stepped in front of Luna, his pistol raised despite having maybe one shot left. "Well, this is it." "Yep." "Any regrets?" "Just one. I never got to tell that alien that pineapple pizza is actually pretty good if you're drunk enough." Marcus laughed despite himself. "Of course. Leave it to you to defend controversial food choices with your dying breath." The Devourer loomed over them, its massive head blocking out the twin suns. And then something impossible happened that a sound cut through the air, high and piercing, like the scream of tearing metal. Above them, descending through the atmosphere like a falling star, came a ship they had never seen before, its hull marked with symbols that meant nothing to them, but everything to Thakmoran. "Vorhak hunting fleet," the alien whispered, struggling to his feet. "They heard my distress beacon." The ship opened fire, weapons that made Thakmoran's rifle look like a child's toy, unleashing concentrated destruction on the Devourer. The creature's roar changed pitch, from hunger to pain to something almost like fear. "Is it working?" Marcus asked. "Keep shooting," Luna yelled at the ship, as if they could hear her. The Devourer turned to flee, but more ships were arriving now, a full hunting pack drawn by the promise of prey worthy of their skills. Within minutes, it was over. The creature that had seemed invincible lay still, its massive form already beginning to decompose in the alien sunlight. A transport beam engaged, and suddenly they were surrounded by Vorhak hunters, all looking remarkably similar to Thakmoran, but somehow managing to seem even more intimidating. The leader, distinguished by additional scarring and ornate armor, approached Thakmoran and spoke in their native language. Thakmoran replied, gesturing toward the humans. The conversation continued for several minutes before Thakmoran turned back to them. "They want to know," he said, "how two small mammals managed to wound a devourer enough that we could finish it." Marcus shrugged. "We got creative. And lucky," Luna added. "Mostly lucky." The pack leader studied them with obvious interest, then spoke again. He says, Thakmoran translated, that any species capable of standing against a devourer with improvised weapons and crude tactics deserves respect. "That's nice," Luna said. "Does that come with a ride home?" More discussion in the Vorhak language. "They offer you a choice," Thakmoran said finally. "They will return you to human space with honor. Or you may come with us. Learn our ways. Become hunters yourselves." Marcus and Luna looked at each other for a long moment. "Tempting," Marcus said finally. "But we have got people back home who are probably worried sick about us." "Plus," Luna added, Someone needs to file a report about this place. Contains giant man-eating monsters. Seems like important information for future visitors. Thakmoran's mandibles clicked with amusement. Very well. But know this, humans Marcus Kane and Luna Vasquez. You have earned the respect of the Vorthak hunting clans. That is not lightly given. We are honored, Luna said. And meant as they were escorted to the transport ship. Marcus couldn't help but look back at the alien world that had nearly killed them. Hell of a place for a vacation, he said. Terrible room service, though, Luna replied. Behind them, Thakmoran shook his head in amazement. Even facing transport to an uncertain future, they could not stop with the humor. Humans, he decided, were the strangest prey he had ever encountered. And perhaps, he thought as he watched them joke and laugh despite everything they had endured, that was exactly what made them special. The rescue ship lifted off, carrying two very tired, very relieved humans toward home, and leaving behind one very confused alien hunter who had learned that sometimes the most dangerous prey was the kind that made. You laughed at, in the end, that might be humanity's greatest weapon. Not their technology, not their stubbornness, not even their courage, but their ability to find something funny in the darkest moments and to share that laughter with anyone brave enough to listen. Even apex predators, it seemed, were not immune to a good joke told at just the right time. The stars welcomed them home 0.6 months later. The debriefing room on Station Omega 7 buzzed with nervous energy as Admiral Patricia Wells reviewed the final reports from the Kepler 442b incident. Across from her desk sat Marcus Kane and Luna Vasquez, both looking remarkably relaxed for two people who had just finished 3 months of intensive psychological evaluation. So let me get this straight, Admiral Wells said, tapping her stylus against the datapad. You crash-landed on an uncharted world, befriended an alien apex predator, fought a planet-eating monster with improvised explosives, and somehow convinced an entire species of galactic hunters that humans are worth keeping alive. That's the short version, Marcus replied. The long version involves more screaming and significantly worse language. Much worse, Luna confirmed. I invented 17 new curse words during the Devourer fight alone. Admiral Wells rubbed her temples. And this alien, Thakmoran, he's been in regular communication with our diplomatic corps 3 times a week, Luna said. He's fascinated by human behavior patterns. Keeps asking about coffee, professional wrestling, and why we put googly eyes on inanimate objects. Googly eyes. I may have shown him some internet videos during our recovery period, Marcus admitted. He's particularly fond of the one where someone puts googly eyes on a vacuum cleaner. The Admiral stared at them both. You have been conducting first contact protocols through comedy videos. Accidentally, Luna said. But it's working. The Vorthak Diplomatic Council has formally requested a cultural exchange program. They want to study human humor as a survival mechanism. They think it might be weaponizable, Marcus added helpfully. Admiral Wells felt a headache building behind her eyes. Weaponizable humor. The Vorthak take everything very seriously, Luna explained. The concept of finding amusement in adversity is completely foreign to them. Thakmoran says it's like discovering a new form of mathematics. A soft chime indicated an incoming message. Admiral Wells glanced at her comm display and froze. Speak of the devil. We have an incoming transmission from Vorthak space. The holographic projector hummed to life, and suddenly Thakmoran's imposing figure materialized in the center of the room. Even as a hologram, his presence was commanding enough to make the furniture seem smaller. Greetings, Admiral Wells, Thakmoran said, his translator rendering his words with perfect diplomatic precision. And greetings to my human friends, Marcus and Luna. Hey there, tall boy, Luna said with a grin. How's the hunting business? Profitable, though less exciting since meeting you two. Most prey species behave predictably. They flee, they fight, they die. They do not make jokes about my appearance or question my dietary choices. We are special that way, Marcus said. Indeed. Which brings me to the purpose of this communication. Thakmoran's 4 eyes focused on the Admiral. The hunting clans have reached a decision regarding humanity. Admiral Wells straightened in her chair. First contact protocols were still being written, but this felt monumentally important. We are listening. We formally extend an invitation to your species to join the Galactic Hunting Alliance as probationary members. The room fell silent except for the humming of the life support systems. I'm sorry, Admiral Wells said carefully. Did you just invite humanity to join a galactic organization based on our ability to annoy apex predators? Among other qualities, Thakmoran replied seriously. Your species demonstrates remarkable adaptability, creative problem-solving under pressure, and an unusual form of psychological warfare that our strategists find intriguing. Luna snorted with laughter. Psychological warfare? We call it coping mechanisms. The effect is the same. You destabilize enemy morale through unexpected behavior patterns. Very effective. Marcus leaned forward. What exactly does probationary membership involve? Cultural exchange, shared hunting expeditions, mutual defense agreements, and... Thakmoran paused. His mandibles clicking with what they had learned was embarrassment. Comedy lessons. Comedy lessons? Admiral Wells repeated faintly. The Council believes that understanding human humor could provide tactical advantages in diplomatic situations. We have studied your historical records. Many of your greatest leaders used humor to defuse tensions and build alliances. You want us to teach you how to be funny, Luna said, her voice filled with delighted disbelief. The preliminary studies are promising. I've been practicing what you call dad jokes on my crew. The results are mixed. Oh, this I have to hear, Marcus said. Thakmoran cleared his throat, a sound like rocks grinding together. Why did the Vorthack cross the star system? Why? All three humans asked in unison. To get to the other side. The silence stretched for several seconds. That's technically a joke, Luna said diplomatically. It needs work, Marcus added. Much work? Admiral Wells agreed. This is why we require instruction, Thakmoran said with dignity. Humor appears to be more complex than our initial analysis suggested. Admiral Wells looked at Marcus and Luna, both of whom were clearly trying not to laugh. I will need to discuss this with the Colonial Council, but the idea has merit. Excellent. There is one additional matter. Thakmoran's expression became more serious. The Devourer you helped us kill was not alone. Our scouts have detected a breeding colony 3 systems from here. The mood in the room shifted instantly. How many? Marcus asked, his marine instincts taking over. Unknown, but significant. The hunting clans are organizing an expedition to eliminate the threat before it can spread. And you want human assistance, Admiral Wells said. We want Marcus and Luna, Thakmoran corrected. They have proven themselves against these creatures. Their tactical insights could be invaluable. Luna and Marcus exchanged glances. When do we leave? Luna asked. You haven't even heard the details yet. Admiral Wells protested. Don't need to, Marcus said. Giant monsters threatening inhabited worlds? That's what we do. Besides, Luna added, someone needs to make sure our new alien buddies don't take themselves too seriously. Might get them killed. Thakmoran's mandibles clicked with approval. This is precisely why your species interests us. Most beings would require extensive deliberation, risk assessment, probability calculations. You simply decide to help. It's called doing the right thing, Luna said. Another human concept you might want to study. Already in progress. Your moral philosophy is as complex as your humor. Admiral Wells realized she was watching history being made. Not just first contact, but the birth of an alliance that could reshape galactic politics. And it all started with 2 stranded astronauts who refused to die quietly. I will prepare the authorization paperwork, she said finally. But I want full mission reports, regular check-ins, and someone to explain to the Colonial Council why our first diplomatic success involved teaching aliens how to tell knock-knock jokes. Deal, Marcus and Luna said simultaneously as Thakmoran's hologram flickered out with promises to send detailed mission parameters. Admiral Wells leaned back in her chair and shook her head. 6 months ago, you two were just another deep space survey team. Now you are humanity's first galactic ambassadors. Life's weird that way, Luna said philosophically. Could be worse, Marcus added. We could still be stuck on that rock, throwing sarcastic comments at something trying to eat us. True. At least now we are throwing sarcastic comments at multiple somethings trying to eat us across several star systems. Progress, they said in unison. Admiral Wells watched them leave, already planning their next impossible mission with the casual confidence of people who had stared down a planet-eating monster and made jokes about its dental hygiene. Maybe, she thought, the galaxy wasn't ready for humanity. Then again, maybe humanity was exactly what the galaxy needed. After all, someone had to teach the universe how to laugh at itself. And if anyone could do it, it would be two wisecracking humans who had turned. A crash landing into the beginning of an interstellar comedy revolution. The stars, it seemed, had a sense of humor after all.